What up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy, capital GuGu Michaels. Welcome to Film Talk with GuGu Michaels. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Film Talk with your boy, GuGu Michaels. And before I go forward, I always like to give my salute to all my people following me on Instagram. And that is GuGu. And if you're not following me yet, why don't you right now open your phone, go to your Instagram, look up the brother, GuGu, that's GuGu, and hit that follow button. Now, in today's episode, we're going to talk about lighting. And what do I mean by lighting? Ever wonder why when you're watching a movie, in some scenes you feel happy, some scenes you are offended, some scenes like horror films, in some scenes you feel the atmosphere, it makes you feel scary. All that is set up with lighting, okay? They use the cinematographer and the director, they use lighting to play with your emotions, to tell you how to feel. And even if you take away the words, even if you don't have any words, the lighting will make you feel a certain way, okay? And that's a thing I like to call it the clock position system, where you position your lights. You got your 12 o'clock, your 3 o'clock, and your 6 o'clock. Your 5 o'clock and your 6 o'clock, 12, 3, 5, 6, and vice versa. 12, 9, 7, 6, okay? And depending on where you put your lighting in those positions, will make your audience feel a certain way, okay? And what do I mean? Let's go into action and let me show you. So as you can see, this is his 12 o'clock. And all I did was everything I'm doing is with one light. I just put my key light in front of him. And as you can see, his face is evenly lit. His chin, there's a little shadow which looks natural, which is okay. His left side, right side looks evenly lit. So let's see what's gonna happen once we raise it up. And once you raise it up, as you can see, it changes the whole tone of the scene. Now this could be him being on the phone, texting, or being aggressive, or he kidnapped someone's child that he's making demands. He's lurking maybe like in a warehouse scene or in the dark, So, but you still see his face, but it's intensity, it's intensified, And as you can see right here, Run the Jewels, they use it on their music video. As you can see, the same thing is lit equally. The only difference is they use a harsher light and it's higher. But it's basically the same thing. Look at his chin. The shadow is the same shadow. So let's go back to my subject and see. See, pretty much the same thing. And if you want the look back, just simply bring it down and it'll give you back your original look. The only difference is I use soft light and they use harsh light. So now let's go to the next setup. And this is his 9 o'clock, his 3 o'clock. If you're the cinematographer, it would be your 9 o'clock. And this is more for intimate, aggressive conversation. And you see a lot of Hollywood movies, they use this setup, a lot. And I mean a lot. It's where one side, the shadow, you can barely see one side of his face. But the other side is well lit. And they always use it when there's like when two actors are going back and forth, like plotting evil plan or having like a deep conversation or aggressive conversation. They always use this kind of light setup. And let's look at this. Let's look at a sample. This is Sicario Part 2. It's getting ready to come out. As you can see, they used it in this setup. Okay. And Quentin Tarantino does this a lot as well. As you can see, he did it. This is the Hateful Eight. But I think the light is in front of Samuel, and they just bounced it off his wall. Okay, but it's still the same 9 o'clock effect is what they were going for. So let's go back to our subject. See, it's the same thing, exactly the same thing. So now if this was a movie series conversation, it could be like a really deep conversation and telling somebody they're coming to kill him or whatever. And this setup is his 5 o'clock, which will be, if you're the cinematographer, it'll be your 11 o'clock, it'll be his 5 o'clock, okay? And this one, they use this a lot like when someone is scared, or like in the slasher movie, they use this a lot, to where, you know, you see their face, but you don't see all the way, you see silhouette. Like you're retrieving, like you, danger, you know, it shows danger, fear, you know, they use this a lot. And again, here's Sicario, that's an example, they use it on this Sicario Part 2. And so yeah, as you can see, you see the silhouette, you see his hand, the phone, his ear, shoulders. Let's go to a different setup. And this setup is pretty much like for, you know, a lot of people use it in horror films, Westerns. They use it a lot in Western movies, like in nighttime in the Western films, horror films, thrillers. It's basically when you shine the light, this is his 6 o'clock. If you're the cinematographer, it's your 12 o'clock, okay? And you see his head, you know, and especially in slasher movies, they use it in slasher movies to where when the killer comes out of the shadow, you don't see his face, but you see the silhouette and you see the knife. Okay, now let's look at an example. This is the movie, The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. As you can see, this they use the hair as well. You can see the railroad, you can see the trees, but you know something's about to happen. And I believe this was a bank robbery from the actual film. So this symbolizes danger. This symbolizes, you know, something's about to happen, a mystery, okay? So let's go back to our subject and do the comparison. Oh, I'm sorry. This is another movie, The Wolfman. I think it came out in 2008. Benicio del Toro and Anthony Hopkins, and also Emily Blunt. I think it was like 2009, 2010. And it's the same thing here, but the only difference is they raised the light. They hit it from up. They raised it up, but it's basically the same thing, but it's still at 6 o'clock. Okay, so let's go back to our subject. Bam, see, it matches, you know. So now, if this was a scary movie, or even if it's an action film, you can still use this setup. You know, if you try to do, like if you're a villain. And there you have it. And hopefully this has been educational, and I hope you learned something from today's episode of Film Talk with GuGu Michaels, okay? And as usual, if you have something you want to talk about dealing with film, camera movements, steady cams, lenses, scripting, distribution, whatever you want to talk about, let me know and I will make a video about it. Now, if you want to talk to me on my Instagram, it is GuGuBoo. And if you want to hit me up on my Facebook, it is GuGu Michaels. And if you want to drop me a line or two on my Twitter account, it is GuGu1904. And if you want to see my previous work, my old work, my music videos, everything I've done in the past, it is www.GuGuEmichaels. That's GuGuEmichaels.com. Okay, that's GuGuEmichaels.com. And I thank you for joining me for today's episode of Film Talk with GuGu Michaels. It is your boy, and I'm signing out.